This is a News 2 breaking news alert.
In that breaking news, police are on the scene of what they're calling a murder-suicide in Antioch. Metro Police tell us a man and his wife were arguing outside their apartment when the man, 37-year-old Theodore Smith, cornered his wife Tatiana and shot her several times. Police say he then went back into the apartment, grabbed another gun, shot his wife again, and then shot himself. The couple reportedly had no history of domestic violence with MNPD. Well, we get tomorrow's forecast in the first 5 minutes every night. In Austin, we've had some much needed rain to cool down from the heat, and I hear it's sticking around.
Yeah, a lot of rain today, and many places picked up quite a bit of rain today, but more of that is on the way. Taking a look at that storm tracker radar right now, a few showers exiting off the plateau right now. A stronger shower has just moved through Nashville. It's currently east of Nashville right now, and making its way into Hendersonville, and there's another one down here making its way into Wilson County. But several people got lucky today on the rain. These showers trained over the same areas, especially south of Interstate 40. 3 inches of rain near Columbia, 3.9 inches in Bedford County over there, and then Lawrenceburg picked up just about 1.5 inches of rain. But we're not going to be done with the rain just yet. As we go through the rest of this week, we'll have some more chances of rain, especially as we go into Sunday and the start of the next work week, some more widespread chances. I'll time out that rain going through the rest of the week and the weekend coming up.
Thank you, Austin. A gas station clerk is now behind bars after a first-of-its-kind crime in Rutherford County. Police say he stole a winning lottery ticket, and the rightful owner is still in disbelief. News 2's Sarah Smith has more.
Betting your hard-earned money on scratch-off tickets is a gamble. Rutherford County detectives say a man bought 2 $20 tickets last week at this gas station. It's at the corner of Middle Tennessee Boulevard and Greenland Drive. The man most likely in a hurry because he only scratches off the barcode.
The victim in this case only scratched off the barcode at the bottom, and that will tell you if it's a winner or not, but it will not tell you how much you've won. So scratch off the entire ticket and make sure you keep your eyes on your ticket until it's scanned.
Deputies say the clerk, 23-year-old Meet Patel, took advantage of that.
The clerk kept the one that said that it was over $600. So he scanned 2 winners, but only told the victim of 1 winner. The other winner was $40.
Investigators say Patel puts the big money ticket in his pocket. He sees it's worth $1 million and goes to the Lottery Commission to cash in.
He couldn't provide certain things to the Lottery Commission, such as a proper identification or any bank information. And his answers to their questions raised enough red flags with them that they realized they needed to dig into it a little bit.
Deputies say when they arrest Patel, he doesn't have much to say. They find the victim by reviewing security footage from the gas station.
He was a little bit concerned at first that it might be some kind of scam, but we assured him, take your ID and your bank account information down to the Lottery Commission. They'll talk you through everything, and they did. And he called us back afterwards and, again, was very appreciative of our efforts.
Patel's luck ran out after allegedly trying to steal that $1 million ticket. He'll need some cash to get out of jail, though. His bond is set at $100,000.
Clarksville police are searching for a wanted man in an attempted murder case. They say 18-year-old Kwame Sykes missed his court appearance today after being booked in the Montgomery County Jail earlier this month. He was charged with shooting a 15-year-old and throwing him out of a car last year. If you have any information on Sykes, police say you should call 911. Tennessee Representative Andy Ogles introduced articles of impeachment against Vice President Kamala Harris for high crimes and misdemeanors. Ogles claims Biden is unfit for office, and since Harris has not invoked the 25th Amendment, which would remove Biden from office due to incompetency, Ogles is accusing her of failing at her vice presidential duties. Now, in the legislation, he writes, she is not only an embarrassment to the country, but has also intentionally ignored her responsibilities to enforce the laws of the United States and protect the American people. Now, this comes as several Republican lawmakers are calling for Biden's resignation. House Speaker Mike Johnson saying in a statement, if Biden can't run for president, he shouldn't be president. The White House press secretary called the allegations, quote, ridiculous, and she said the president intends to finish his term. Dixon County Sheriff's Office arrested a mom and dad for allegedly padlocking their kids in a mobile home. It happened at Bruce Perry Trailer Park on Caroline Drive. Police say witnesses saw the parents pack up and leave while their kids were waving through the window for help. Now, the Department of Children's Services is also investigating. Well, artificial intelligence is inevitably making its way into classrooms across the country. But how are Tennessee schools now addressing it? A Tennessee law requires all school districts to implement AI policies for the upcoming school year. So Metro Nashville Public Schools has a plan for teachers and students. We spoke with a teacher in the district who says the policy doesn't fight AI, but rather embraces it.
The only thing that would scare me is like if we ignore it and just are really afraid of it, because I think the capabilities are really great. Just like the calculator, when the calculator was invented, people were really afraid that it would take away kids' basic arithmetic knowledge. However, you wouldn't be able to do calculus if you didn't have a calculator.
Now, teachers and students will be able to use certain approved AI programs like Canva and Microsoft Copilot. To learn more about the new policy, visit WKRN.com. Well, there are 10 days left to fill out the free application for federal student aid, that's FAFSA for short, before your high schooler becomes ineligible for the Tennessee Promise Scholarship. Now, here's what you need to know. The Tennessee Promise covers last dollar expenses at Tennessee community and applied tech colleges. Your high schooler must fill out the FAFSA by August 1st to qualify for the scholarship. Now, as of July 12, Tennessee outranks every state in the country with the most FAFSA applications and completions. Nearly 60% of high school seniors in the state already submitted their FAFSA, but that's still 10% less than last year. So to encourage even more submissions, Governor Lee is declaring July to be FAFSA Frenzy Month, and landmarks across the state will light up green to remind parents of the deadline. Well, 3 suspects who allegedly beat a man to death at Top Golf appeared in court today. At the hearing, eyewitnesses testified that 41-year-old Umesh Dahal was trying to split up a fight when he was knocked to the ground, punched, and kicked. They say he couldn't defend himself against the drunk and angry attackers.
He was gargling blood, like I can hear it, also bleeding from his ears, like, it was really bad. I don't even want to remember that.
Defense attorneys for the suspects claim there is no evidence to prove who threw that fatal blow. A Metro detective confirmed that Dahal died of brain damage. Metro police are trying to identify the suspect in a shooting outside a Walmart. It happened on June 7th. Police say this man was arguing with another man inside the store, and when they took it outside, it turned violent. The suspect shot the victim in the arm. He's expected to be okay. Anyone with information should call Crime Stoppers at 615-74-CRIME. Well, Safe Haven Family Shelter provides housing to hundreds of Nashville families every year, but they can't do it alone. I spoke with Safe Haven's owner to learn what it costs to support these families in need and how you can help.
Stove or cookware, toilet paper, paper towels.
It's a list most of us make.
Nothing says home than like having your own bed, right? Naturally, my personality brought me to this.
The essentials needed to turn a house into a home. But recently, they've been harder to stock.
You can see our cupboards are bare there. These are new items. This was empty. 6 months ago, this was full. And it didn't take long for it to be depleted the way you see it now.
It's part of the welcome home kits given out to families who walk through the doors of Safe Haven Family Shelter after finding permanent housing.
Sometimes after you do deposits and you give the security money, that's all you have. You're just in a room. You don't have the furniture, you don't have the essential goods, and that's what we want to try to avoid.
But it's becoming harder to avoid. Typically, the organization needs 10 to 15 full kits a month. However, with low stock and a greater need, they are urgently looking to make 30 to 50 kits.
It just costs more. It costs more to live. We are spending 18% more just to do the same things we did last year with our families.
The inflation rate sitting at 2.97%, down from the previous month. But consumers are still pinching pennies.
I experienced inflation in my life. Families that are experiencing homelessness also experience inflation. Agencies that support them experience inflation as well. So it's just costly to do the same things as we did last year. as we all experienced that.
Last year, Safe Haven served more than 300 families, and this year, more are on the waiting list. Many of the families hoping to go from having shelter to having a home.
The family structure is about the same. It's just more of them. We don't know whether it was the moratorium that was ended or if it's just the inflation in the housing market that is outlandish, right? Most of our families work. So it's not like they're not working. It's just they still, even with working, it's hard to find a house in Nashville.
Well, there's a new plan to expand WeGo train service, and it could make your weekend travel easier. WeGo officials say the plan would better connect its riders to the rest of the transit network. Now, the new plan would add day and evening service on Saturdays, routed trips between Lebanon and Nashville, midday bus service between stations, and continued service for special events like Titans games on Sundays.
One of the challenges is that downtown and employment is just moving outside of the core of downtown. So how can we better connect people?
Take 3 to 5 years to complete, and officials estimate its price tag could be $9 to $10 million. Well, Tennessee is smashing tourism spending records, according to the Department of Tourist Development. Take a walk on Lower Broad on a Saturday night, and it's not hard to believe. New data shows the state saw 144 million visitors last year. Those honky-tonkin' tourists brought in $30.6 billion to the volunteer state. Now, that's an average of $84 million a day. 2023 also saw a 6.2% increase in tourist spending from the year prior. The Department of Tourist Development will release county-by-county data later this year. To learn more, go ahead and visit WKRN.com. A 16-year-old boy drowned while he was doing yard work Monday evening. Robertson County officials say he was mowing his grandfather's property when he fell into a pond. The lawnmower pinned him underwater. His family found him later that day. Emergency personnel tried but could not resuscitate him. The county EMS director says the family is well known among locals, but he did not release the teen's identity. While voters decide the leader of the free world at the polls this November, Nolensville residents also get to choose where to buy booze. We'll take a look at that new legislation. And tax-free weekend is just around the corner. What you need to know before your shopping spree.
Tipped employees. So if you were a server, would you want the minimum wage to be increased? Yes, I would. Well, we are here today with Leveling the Playing Field. I mean, look at all this incredible equipment that we have for children who are in youth sports programs. I'm here today with founder Max. Can you tell me a little bit about why you started this program 10 years ago?
Yeah, I started the organization because it's important that every kid, no matter what their situation is, has the opportunity to enjoy youth sports growing up. It's just too important to a kid's development, and so we're here trying to make sure that the cost of sports equipment is not keeping any kids on the sidelines.
So what are some of the impacts that you've seen in children's lives? I mean, this is just such an important cause to make sure that kids are out and playing and, having that experience. What are some of the stories that you've heard kids tell after being given equipment? Yeah, I mean, we're in the lacrosse section. Lacrosse is one of those sports that's incredibly expensive and difficult for kids in low-income communities to get involved in it. We've had many programs come in here telling us that their kids are loving lacrosse, they're playing it every single day, and the only reason that they're having access to a sport like that is because of the equipment that their coach had access to in our warehouse. Now, I know you've had some experiences with bigger sports teams. I think you were talking about the Commanders donating things. Who else has donated stuff to this program? Yeah, the Commanders, University of Maryland Athletics, the Washington Spirit, the Washington Capitals, all of the professional sports teams in the D.C. area have been incredibly supportive of our work. They want to make sure that kids in the D.C. area have the ability to play whatever sport that they want, and they've whether it's money, equipment, or just giving us their platform, they've all been incredibly supportive of what we do. Guys, this is such a great program. Can you tell me where can people go to donate or to find out more information about leveling up the playing field? Yeah, go to our website, www.levelingtheplayingfield.org, or visit us on social media. That's a great way to follow what we do on a daily basis. Guys, back to you.
All right, welcome back in the zone. We are here with intern Ella, who had the important task today of collaborating on the Grammy nominations.
Yes.
And we've been talking a little bit in the break about it, but we wanted to have you tell us some of the big names that came out of these Grammy nominations.
Sure. So a couple that you're going to need to know, of course, SZA is the most nominated artist this year with 9 nominations.
Wow.
Across a lot of different categories, a lot of genres. Very, very cool stuff for her.
And her album, by the way, is one of the best albums that came out in 2022. It's an absolute masterpiece. Like there are some really cool things on that album.
My 13-year-old wants to go to this show.
I can imagine. Blew up on TikTok over the summer.
Yeah. It's real fun. We love that.
My favorite thing, though, is that Ella hasn't seen the movie Kill Bill, but she knows the song Kill Bill.
Oh my God. Sorry.
He is our resident Gen Zer here.
So you don't know the movie Kill Bill, but you do know the...
It's gory.
Yeah, we gotta talk.
That is the least of the gory and like the retrospect of what we could talk about.
It is pretty violent, though.
That's fair. Well, speaking of other violence, Olivia Rodrigo's Vampire Guts is also nominated for a lot of
I thought that would come through.
Of course, Taylor Swift. You literally can't talk about music right now without talking about her. And a lot of the artists that were featured on her Eras tour are actually nominated for Grammys now because they blew up over the summer. So you've got Gracie Abrams nominated for Best New Artist. You've got Phoebe Bridgers and the Boy Genius people. They're nominated for like a ton of stuff, and that comes at great timing for them because they're going to be on SNL tomorrow night.
Yeah, Phoebe Bridgers posted a photo, I think, of like her seeing the nomination on TV this morning, which I thought was cool.
And Gracie Abrams and Noah Khan are both going to like meet up before the Grammys. They're getting real excited because they're both nominated. It's super fun.
Awesome. Well, you were saying there was somebody that you were surprised.
Well, I was happy because when the rap nominations came out, I just wanted to see Nas on there because King's Disease 3, I think, is one of the best hip hop albums I've heard in years, and I'm just so happy that that album got recognized. It genuinely is one of the best albums. There's no features. It's my favorite album Nas did since Illmatic, and I hope he wins that award. Nas deserves his flowers. I mean, he's 30 years into the game and crushing it with 6 albums with Hit Boy. It's unbelievable.
At 30 years, he's Grammy nominated. Now?
I don't know if he's been nominated prior. I mean, I'm talking about now. Happy to see it.
I was talking about right now.
Yeah, he was nominated for 30 years into his career.
For everyone watching, do not give up. Keep going. You never. Hip hop is the fad. You think?
And listen to King's Disease 3. It's genuinely amazing.
Metro's new album, or not new, but you know,
Metro Boomin?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
He's nominated too. This is like the first or second time he's been nominated. I'm psyched for him.
So you were also talking about something that you heard at the barbershop, right?
No, we'll leave that alone. We'll talk about it all. Talk about it all.
Okay, never mind.
It was somebody who was hating on somebody else, and I don't want to be the hater.
Okay. We don't want those negative vibes.
No negative vibes.
If anybody out there listening is a Grammy voter, please listen to the Nas album.
Okay. Love it. Thanks so much, Ella.
And it's just beats and rhymes. That's the dope part about it.
Hit Boy
it's
production.
Just beats and rhymes. There's no extra fluff. It's just beats and rhymes.
You guys talked to him a while back, right?
I've never talked to Nas.
Oh, I thought you did. I'm so sorry.
I would freak out if I met Nas. I would probably start crying. If you walked in the door right now,
he was at my house yesterday. No, I'm just kidding.
And you didn't call me, I would never talk to you.
You know I will call you immediately.
I would never talk to you.
If Nas came, I will call you immediately.
Okay, well, let's move our way
Thank you, Ella. Thanks,
Ella
Mercer. High five.
And
there we
are
go.
Talking about now.
Thanks, guys. We're here in one of the TCU laundry rooms. It's time to do some laundry. First things first, download the Speed Queen app onto your phone. Make sure you log in using the instructions on the flyers posted in your laundry room. Pick your building, your floor, and an open machine. Pay the $1.50 fee and you'll hear a sound like this. Then fill her up. Change the settings to your liking and let the machine do its thing. You'll get a notification on your phone when the cycle is almost done. Follow the same steps to pick a dryer. The new system may have caused a bit of confusion in the beginning, but hey, it beats walking to a laundromat. I've got to let my stuff dry, so back to you guys.